Right on Facebook, we're here with Nick Savage, who's going to do a live unboxing for us of Warlords of Ixalan for our store folder. And as he unboxes, at some point he'll pick a couple of boosters out for himself with the hope that he's going to pull something good.
Thanks,
I'm sure I'll let you all know that.
Much appreciated.
So over to Nick. Cheers,
Hi
Nick.
everyone, so we've got some Rivals of Ixalan product here to open. This is the latest set from Magic the Gathering. We have 2 boxes, so we've got rather a lot of boosters to get through. This is the second set from the Ixalan expansion block. This one continues the story of all the pirates, the dinosaur riders, the vampires, all of this sort of stuff, merfolk as well. So there's some good cards to be opened in here. So I'll be running through the boosters. First few we'll look through all the cards. We might start moving faster as we go. So first pack, let's see what we get. What we're hoping for? We're hoping for the Phoenix. That's quite a good card, to be honest. So Dust Charger number 1, Colossal Dreadmore. That's quite a good card, quite big. Buccaneer's Bravado, Mist Choked Herald, Moment of Triumph. Good pump spell for limited if you want to play that. Moment of Craven, another excellent removal spell. So target creature gets -2/-2 so turn. You gain 2 life, only 2 mana. It's a good bargain. Crashing Tide, return target creature and draw a card. Has Flash if you control a merfolk. Pretty good card, that one. I like that one a lot as well. Knight of the Stampede, we've got a Grasping Scoundrel here. Gleaming Barrier, right, onto our uncommons. So, Curious Obsession, this is pretty good. It's like Curiosity from the old cards with a few extra bits stamped on it. Foul Orchard, Shake the Foundations, and our first rare, Induced Amnesia. I'll put that one over here so you can have a look at it. This one of the plot cards of the story. It looks like it's Jace, erasing Vraska's memory. So, right, we'll put these ones over here, and we'll get moving. More packs to crack. So, pack 2. Let's see what we get. Move some rubbish out of the way. There we go. Right, Duskgrove Stalker, Stampeding Horncrest, Deadeye Rig Hauler, like this one, it's a good bounce spell. Sanguine Glorifier, Impale, right, premier removal spell of limited. It says 2 black, destroy target creature. I'll put it on the zoom so you can see it. This, probably first pickable. Right, Orcasa Frillback, or Razka Frillback. I need to remember how to say this word, like this one's difficult. Razka. Jade Craft Artisan, Tilon Ali's Crown, Voracious Vampire, Squire's Devotion. Right, onto our uncommons here. Ravenous Chupacabra. This card, I'm going to put this over here, is the premier removal spell of the format. Not like Impale, but this one really is. Destroy target creature. It comes with a 2/2 body as well. This card's been seeing some play in Standard over the weekend, would just be. Right, Legion Lieutenant. It's a 2/2 for 2. Already quite good. Other vampires get +1/+1. So yeah, pretty good for a vampires deck. Shake the Foundations. 1 damage to each creature without flying. Draw a card. It's alright, it's not so great. I'm sure we'll see some play somewhere. So, our rare, I'll move these out of the way. Our rare is Golden Guardian. Defender, 2. Fights another target creature you control. When it dies, return it to the battlefield transformed under your control. So, what does it do when it's transformed? Gold Forged Guardian, it's a land. Tap to add 2 mana of any colour to your mana pool. I read this for the first time the other day and realised actually 2 mana of any colour. That's really rather good. And it's also a 4/4 colourless, pumps out 4/4 colourless golden tokens as well. So it's quite a good mana sink for later on in the game. I quite like this card. Put it that way up. Right, pack 3. We're going to start running through the commons quite fast now because I think there'll be quite a lot of duplication. Talk about the ones I quite like, the limited. I'll move that back over there. Cool. So, Aggressive Urge, Mutiny, River Darter, Martyr of Dusk. Quite a good vampire. This one makes a 1/1 when it dies. Dusk Charger, Traveller's Amulet, good fixing. Swaggering Corsair, Dark Inquiry, or Azka Relic. I said it right that time. Right, onto our uncommons. Stormfleet Sprinter. Try saying that one quickly after a few beers. Put that one over there. I quite like that card as well. Aquatic Incursion, Baffling End. It's totally baffling. Totally baffling. I can't even explain it. Right, our rare, Tetzimok. This card, bomb rare. Absolutely amazing. Tetzimok, Primal Death. Death Touch. You get to say it's coming and reveal it from your hand. Primal Death. Put a prey count on target creature. Activate this ability only during your turn. When it enters the battlefield, destroy all creatures with prey counters. And a foil land. Excellent. Right, moving on. We'll leave the Protector Mock over there so you can see it. Love that card. Hi Ash. Nice to see you. On the stream, as it were. Cool. Right, okay, so moving on. Fanatical Firebrand. Quite like this card. It reminds me of Mog Fanatic in the old days. Kite Sail Corsair, good flying 2/2, 2/1/2. Sun Sentinel, Fathom Fleet Border, Naturalised, good old Naturaliser's back. Goblin Trailblazer, Gleaming Barrier, Gruesome Fate, Sun Coloured Raptor, Sea Legs. Right, our first uncommon, Thunderhead Migration. It searches for a land out of your deck. We all know how powerful that card is. However, for 2 mana, if you have a dinosaur in your hand, then you can reveal it from your hand and it's played tapped. Pitiless Plunderer, Jungle Creeper, and our rare is Vona's Hunger. So Ozira seems to remember Vona's Hunger is about sacrificing creatures. Yep, there we go. So each opponent sacrifices a creature. If you have the City's Blessing, each opponent sacrifices half the creatures they control, rounded up. So, the new mechanic from the set is Ascend. Ascend basically says if you have Ascend on the stack or anywhere, it basically means that you get the City's Blessing. There's a little token. I don't know if we've seen one yet. Here we go, actually. The City's Blessing token. We'll put that on here on the stream. So basically, you get the City's Blessing. It's a counter to say that you've got it. It stays with you for the rest of the game. So, this set, quite a lot about making big board presence. Quite a lot of the vampires quite good. Some of the merfolk that make extra merfolk as well. Right, let's move on to another pack. Right, so Colossal Dreadmaw, Goblin Trailblazer, Mistcloaked Herald, Luminous Bonds, Dusk Legion Zealot, Cleansing Ray, Brazen Freebooter, Jadecraft Assassin, Strider Harness, Vampire Revenant. Right, our uncommons. Relentless Raptor, Needletooth Raptor, that's a lot of raptors. Quite a lot of dinosaurs in that pack. Swift Warden, 3 mana 3/3 for 3. So, when it's battlefield, target merfolk you control gains hexproof till in turn. That's quite good, really. It's good rate, good card for limited. So, Radiant Destiny, what does it do? So, it's an enchantment, it has Ascend. When it enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Creature you control the chosen type get +1/+1. As long as you have the City's Blessing, they also have Vigilance. Excellent. So it's kind of a tribal anthem effect. So all the creatures get +1/+1. Pumps up a lot of your small creatures. White, renowned for having lots of little white creatures. White Weenie is the deck archetype. Probably goes quite well in a White Weenie deck somewhere in Standard. Right, another pack. Plummet, Bombard. Bombard's quite good, really. 4 damage to a creature. It only costs single red in the mana cost. You can splash it in a lot of decks. What I mean by splash is you play like this, just as your only card is a red card. Your only red card in a deck with 2 colours. Means you've got a bit more power, a bit more removal in your deck. Raptor Companion, Dinosaur Hunter, Cleansing Ray, Voracious Vampire, Sworn Guardian, Orazka Relic. I'm starting to get better at that one. Right, Ravenous Chupacabra, I like this card a lot. I think I've said that already. Resplendent Griffin, I tried drafting this the other day actually, it's quite powerful really. Gets bigger as you attack with it, it's got Ascend. Hornswoggle, you wrestling fans out there will be happy with Hornswoggle. What a name. Right, Bishop Binding is the rare from the set. Oh, we've got a foil as well, Cacophodon. I'll put that there for a moment. Look at how shiny that is. Shiny dinosaur for you dinosaur fans out there. Right, so back to Bishop of Binding. When Bishop of Binding enters the battlefield, exile target creature opponent controls until Bishop of Binding leaves the battlefield. So it's a bit like your some of your creatures that we've seen previously, like Fiend Hunter and that sort of stuff. So whenever it attacks, target vampire gets +X/+X till end turn, where X is the power of the exiled card. So it's going to exile a creature, it's going to make a vampire bigger whenever it attacks. Depending on how big that creature is, probably want to exile some big dinosaur with that thing. It is of course a vampire itself, so it can target itself when it attacks. Not so good on defense, but pretty good on offense. Also gets a blocker out of your way so you can attack with more things. Probably quite good really. Right, another pack, let's go. Overgrown Armasaur, Cruel Deathspitter, River Darter, Exultant Sky Marcher. This card, really good, so like 3 mana, 2/3 with flying, quite a good rate, quite good stats on that card. Recover, Orazka Thrillback, Sea Legs, Jadecraft Artisan, Crashing Tide, Dark Inquiry. Right, moving on to the uncommons. Oath Sworn Vampire, Thunderhead Migration, I'm gonna have to say this out loud, aren't I? At Zoken Seer, I think I'm going to call it. Right, it's a human druid, 3 mana, tap for 1 mana to your mana pool. Tap, add 1 mana of any colour to your mana pool. Sacrifice it, search, return target dinosaur from your graveyard to your hand. Quite a powerful card, this one. I quite like it. Means you get to play like 3 colours in your deck, 4 colours maybe. It's quite good in a dinosaur deck. Right, onto our rare, Temple Altasaur. It's another dinosaur, isn't it? If any source would deal damage to another dinosaur you control, prevent all but one of that damage. That seems pretty not all that powerful really, but a lot of your dinosaurs have got Enrage, which says whenever they take damage, they do an effect. This sort of reduces all that damage just down to 1, so it means that you take the minimum amount of damage so that you trigger Enrage without your dinosaurs dying. It's quite powerful really, in the right deck. It's got quite a lot of synergy. So let's move on to another pack. Jungleborn Pioneer, Thrill Death Spitter, Negate, good old Negate, Moment of Triumph, Fathom Fleet Border, Shatter, Spirewinder, Hunt the Weak. I like Hunt the Weak. Hunt the Weak's quite a good card in Limited. Lets your big dinosaurs fight other things. Means your dinosaurs take damage as well, because when they fight, each creature deals damage to the other. So your dinosaurs get the Enrage. Grasping Scoundrel, Gleaming Barrier, sorry. Right, onto the uncommons. Slippery Scoundrel, Highland Lake, Cherished Hatchling, interesting card. 2 mana for a 2/1 with an ability that says when it dies you can play dinosaurs with Flash. I don't know, I'm not sure about this card. It might not be all that great, but we shall see. Right, the rare, Paladin of Atonement. So there we go. 2 mana for a 1/1. If you've taken damage, so it's a vampire. If you've taken damage, then you can, at the beginning of upkeep, if you have lost life last turn, put a +1/+1 counter on Paladin of Atonement. When it dies, you gain life equal to its toughness. So it slowly grows over the length of the game. It's quite good. I like that card a lot. It sort of draws a removal spell from your opponent after a certain amount of time. It just keeps growing, getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Right, I'll leave that there for a moment actually. Right, next pack, Naturalized, Fanatical Firebrand, Secrets of the City, Raptor Companion, Impale, Razka Fillback, Voracious Vampire, Shatter, Sun-Crested Pterodon, Evolving Wilds. Right, onto the uncommons. Pride of the Conquerors, Direfleet Netbreaker, Enter the Unknown, quite a nice card. Lets you, whenever target creature explores, so you get to reveal the top card, put it on the top, or if it's a land, you put it into your hand. Otherwise, put a +1/+1 count on the creature, and put that card back in your graveyard or on top of your library. And then it also lets you play an additional land this turn. It's quite good, especially if you hit land off the top. Right, rares. Admiral's Order. So, what card is this? 3 mana, Raid. If you attack with a creature, you may play blue rather than play its mana cost. It says counter target spell. So it's like cancel with upside. If you attack with a creature, you get to play a single mana. It's all good. Love that card. Quite aggressive in the right deck. Plays quite well in tempo. If they play a combat trick, you've already attacked with a creature, right? If you're attacking, they play a combat trick to kill your creature. You go, aha! Admiral's Order. No, you're not doing it. I only played a single blue for that effect as well as stop your combat trick. Saved my creature. You're probably down to the creature and the combat trick you played. Nice 2 for 1. Right. Next booster. Soul the Rapids. Lost to this online the other day. It's quite aggravating. Divine Verdict. Dust Charger. Colossal Dreadmaw. Buccaneer's Bravado. Mistoke Herald. Evolving Wilds. Sun-Crested Pterodon. Traveller's Amulet. Storm Guardian. Siren Reaver is our first uncommon. Right. First, what does the Siren Reaver do? Raid, costs 1 less to cast if you attack with the creature's turn. 3/2 flying. 3/2 with flying for 4 mana. Seems quite good really. 3/2 with flying for 3 mana if you attack with the creature. Quite aggressive. 4 under the Herald, search for more Merfolk at your deck. Quite good Merfolk synergy. Majestic Heliopterus. I think I got that right. Flying, whenever it attacks, another target dinosaur you control gains flying till end turn. I like that card. Form of the Dinosaur. Oh, love this one. So, right, if you remember the old card, Form of the Dragon. Form of the Dragon let you change yourself into a dragon, basically. This one, in theory, should let you turn into a dinosaur. So let's see how thematic it is. When it enters the battlefield, your life total becomes 15. Interesting. So, at the beginning of your upkeep, Form of the Dinosaur deals 15 damage to target creature an opponent controls. That creature deals damage to you. You also get to roar like a dinosaur at that point. So you basically turn yourself into a 15/15 dinosaur that attacks everything. That seems excellent. Probably quite good with some live games. Probably very thematic. I love it. Right, Moment of Triumph, Moment of Craving. That's a lot of moments right there. Plummet, Bombard, Water Knot, quite a good removal spell for limited. Raptor Companion, Legion Conquistador, Hardy Veteran. I really like this card. 2 for 2 for 2. On your turn, it gets +0/+2. Strider Harness, Brazen Freebooter. Right, onto the uncommons. Highland Lake, Relentless Raptor, Slippery Scoundrel. Sphinx's Decree is our rare. Awesome, let's have a look at Sphinx's Decree. We've got some land on its token, of course. So each opponent can't cast instant or sorcery spells during that player's next turn. Okay, so that basically means next turn you're not gonna cast any instant or sorcery spells. No naughty stuff for you, only creatures. Quite good against combo deck. So if they're gonna cast spells like not creature spells to try and win the game next turn, you know they're gonna try and win the game next turn. Play this, stop them from doing it. Probably quite good in EDH. Especially against those blue decks out there. Stamping Eating Horncrest, Deadeye Rig Hauler, Luminous Bonds, Dust Charger, Gilt Grove Stalker. We got there eventually. Buccaneer's Bravado, Sailor of Means, Brazen Freebooter, Sworn Guardian, Hardy Veteran. Right, more baffling end. It's totally baffling how good this card is. I love it. Cacophodon, Expel from Orazka. One of my favourite cards in the set. Journey to Eternity. That's how I rated this one. I really quite like this. I opened a rare foil version of this out of my prize pack at pre-release the other day. I really like this card. Green Black's one of my pet favourite decks out there. Right, so it's a legendary enchantment aura. Enchant a creature you control. When enchanted creature dies, return it to the battlefield under your control. Then return Journey to Eternity to the battlefield, transformed under your control. So basically, put it on a creature. Creature dies. Then this brings that creature back from your graveyard and transforms into Atzal, Cave of Eternity. So what does it do? Taps to add 1 mana of any colours to your mana pool, fixes your colours for you. And then 5 mana, tap it, return target creature from your graveyard to the battlefield. So this card really quite good in one of those reanimated decks. It's got a lot of cards in value when they enter the battlefield. You bring cards back out of your graveyard. It's like having extra cards in your hand, but they're in your graveyard as well. Absolutely brilliant. I love these sort of cards. This one of my favourites. I'll be putting this in a commander deck. Coming to a multiplayer game near you soon. Right, awesome. So moving on to the next one. Orazka Raptor, Soul of the Rapids, Sanguine Glorifier, Moment of Craving, Overgrown Armasaur, Legion Conquistador, Sailor of Means. Oh, this Legion Conquistador is back in this set. So it's in this set and the previous set, Ixalan, which means that you can draft even more if you're drafting 2 rivals of Ixalan and 1 regular Ixalan. It means you're going to get Legion of Conquistadors and all your boosters. Sailor of Means back again. Jade Barrier, Tilon Ali's Crown. Alright, so our uncommons. Imperial Ceratops. Whenever it's dealt damage, gain 2 life. It's 3/5. Probably take quite a bit of damage there. Arterial Flow. Discards 2 cards. If you control a vampire, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. That's pretty cool. Daring Buccaneer. I quite like this card. So it's a 1 mana 2/2. If you're playing a Pirates deck, then it means that there's additional costs to cast Daring Buccaneer. Reveal a pirate card from your hand, or pay 2 mana. So basically, it's a payoff for playing a Pirates deck. You get to play this for 1 mana, 2/2 for 1 mana. That's really quite aggressive, but it does mean that you need to be playing a lot of Pirates in your deck. I want to try it out. I want to see what it's like at some point. Right, our rare Siegehorn Ceratops. Right, Siegehorn Ceratops. Oh, we've got a foil as well. Baffling End. Another brilliant card. I love Baffling End. Right, Siegehorn Ceratops. So what does this card do? When it is dealt damage, put 2 +1/+1 counters on it. Brackets. It must survive the damage to get the counters. So it's 2 mana 2/2. That's pretty good already. I'll probably play that in almost every deck in those colours and limited. But it gets bigger, it gets way out of hand. If you've got a pump spell, block with this. They go, I'm going to kill it, that's great. You go, no, pump spell. And suddenly they're losing creature. Your Ceratops is going to a 4/4. Maybe even more if you put extra +1/+1 counters on it. It's really quite good. Right, Dinosaur Hunter, Overgrown Armasaur, Frilled Death Spitter, River Dancer, Exultant Sky Marcher, Recover, Gruesome Fate, Gleaming Barrier, Swaggering Corsair, Snubhorn Sentry. Right, our uncommon Sky Marcher Aspirant. It's a 1 mana, 2/1. Quite aggressive, probably quite good. It's a Vampire Soldier. It has flying if you have Blessing and has Ascend as well. That's quite nice. I like that card a lot actually. Swift Warden, 3 mana 3/3. We've already talked about this. I really quite like this. Reckless Rage, Slaughter the Strong. So let me tell you a story about Slaughter the Strong. I was playing against George at a pre-release, and I cast this card, and I totally misread it. So what it actually says is each player chooses any number of creatures he or she controls with total power 4 or less, and then sacrifices all other creatures they control. So what happened is I said, I get to keep my 4/4, and you get to attack off some of your guys. And we read it around a bit and went, okay, that's how it works. So actually, you choose all of the creatures up to 4. So if you've got a couple of 2/2s like this, where are we? Here we go. You've got a couple of 2/2s, got a 1/1. You can keep 4 power of your creature. These two. Sack this one off, especially if this one has grown too big anyway. And then you get to keep these 2. Your opponent, on the other hand, maybe has a board full of 5/5 dinosaurs and can't keep any of them. It's probably quite good. It's a nice symmetrical effect, and as we know, symmetrical effects in Magic the Gathering are totally non-symmetrical because the board presences are always different. Right, so Secret of the Golden City, Master of Dusk, Fathom Fleet, Border, Plummet, Fanatical Firebrand, Water Knot, Strider Harness, Vampire Revenant, Traveller's Amulet, Snubhorn Sentry. Right, those are the commons. We're starting to see quite a few of the same commons, so we might start skipping the commons. Right, Sea Red, Mausoleum Harpy, Direfleet Neckbreaker, our rare, Archer Araska. So, Archer Araska, what does it do? It's got a send, tap side colours to your mana pool. It says 5 tap, draw a card, activate this ability only if you have the City's Blessing. It's quite expensive, but in sealed deck, which is what a lot of us will be playing this coming weekend, because it's the GP in London. So 5 mana tap, draw a card. It's quite good mana sink. So in the late turns of the game, you kind of you're running out of cards, but you have a lot of things in play. But you're just maybe got a board stall that you need to draw out of. Archer Araska gets you drawing out of that. It means that you get to draw more cards than your opponents. And if you're both sitting there with the same sort of resources in play, drawing an extra card every turn is actually quite good. It's going to get you out of that situation faster than your opponent is. Maybe draw you more cards that kill your opponent faster. Cool. Right, so we'll leave that there for a moment. Let's move on to the next pack. So we've got some commons. If I see anything I like the look of, I'll call it out. Squire's Devotion, quite like this card. Always like these sort of cards. Anyway, it's an aura, enchant creature. It gets enchanted creature gets +1/+1 lifelink. When it enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 vampire token with lifelink. So it's gonna sort of sit there. It's gonna make your creature bigger. It's gonna gain you some life back. It's gonna win a damage race. So if you're each sort of attacking with creatures on each side, and you're taking the same sort of damage, this one is going to pull you ahead. It also makes you a blocker. It's kind of got haste, so it's kind of like a 1/1 creature with haste that makes another 1/1 creature, because it goes on a creature. It means that you can attack, win that damage race. Quite like that card a lot. Crashing Tide, Hunt the Weak, Gruesome Fate. So, Merfolk Mistbinder, the Merfolk Lord as it were. I'm going to move this out of the way, here we go. Merfolk Mistbinder. This card, it's gonna make Merfolk really good in standard. It's a 2 mana 2/2. I've already said I like 2 mana 2/2s. It says other Merfolk you control get +1/+1. If you have a lot of Merfolk in play, it's really gonna grow your board really wide, really big, really doing rather well. Quite like this card. Keep an eye out for this card for standard. It's probably gonna do really well. Forsaken Sanctuary, Crested Herd Caller, and our rare is Champion of Dusk. So this is a payoff for playing lots of vampires. When it enters the battlefield, you draw X cards and you lose X life for X is the number of vampires you control. So it is, of course, the vampire itself, so you're always going to lose 1 life and draw 1 card. That's quite good, because a 5 mana, 4/4, where you get to draw a card when it enters play for not much downside really, just 1 life. Or you get to draw maybe 3-4 cards if you've got a lot of vampires in play. Might be quite good. Might also be exceedingly good if you've got a board, massive board full of vampires. Probably quite good in Vampire EDH. Right, Divine Verdict, Impale, Naturalise, Mutiny, Negate, Jadecraft Artisan, Tilonali's Crown, Voracious Vampire, Squire's Devotion, Gleaming Barrier, Uncommons, Pirate's Pillage, Reaver Ambush, Raging Register. Our first mythic. Woohoo, we got a mythic. Right, so our first mythic is Trapjaw Tyrant. So, what does Trapjaw Tyrant do? When it's dealt damage, exile target creature an opponent controls until it leaves the battlefield. So it's a 5 mana 5/5 what it does is it sort of gets rid of your opponent's board position. So you're attacking with it. Say you're in a creature store, attacking with this card. If they block it, they're going to lose 2 creatures because, well, if they block and don't kill it, even, they're going to lose 2 creatures. So they lose the creature they're blocking with it, and they lose another creature when it dies. But this becomes even better when you've got Hunt the Weak and things like that in your deck, because what happens is you get to kill a creature and put a +1/+1 counter on it, and then eat their other creature when that creature fights it back. So quite powerful, mythic white dinosaur. You'd expect it to be quite powerful, being a mythic. So some commons again in the next pack. Let's have a go through, right? Okay, so Resplendent Griffin, Forerunner of the Coalition, and Crested Herdcaller are uncommons. Silent Gravestone. So Rob and I were talking about this card. He's been playing Legacy recently. Rob likes to play Legacy. So Silent Gravestone. What's it do? It's a 1-mana artifact, which means it's good, it's cheap. Like Legacy probably wants this card. Cards in graveyards can't be the targets of spells or abilities. 4 and tap, exile, Silent Gravestone, and all cards from all graveyards draw a card. Now the reason Rob was quite excited by this card was that he was playing Dredge and lost quite hard to Deathrite Shaman, and said, you know what, I just wish I could play a card that meant people couldn't target my cards in my graveyard, stop me playing around my graveyard in my Dredge deck. So he was thinking maybe Silent Gravestone is the card he needs to beat Deathrite Shaman in Dredge. We shall see. Maybe it's good, maybe it's not. No, next pack. I'm going to run through the commons pretty fast. Cool, so Mausoleum Harpy, Deadeye Brawler, Sky Marcheress, Aspirant are the uncommons. So Tilonali's Summoner. I think I've got that right, Tilonali's Summoner, yes. Right, so what does this card do? Tilonali's Summoner. It's got Ascend, it's a 1/1, so 2 mana. Whenever it attacks, you may pay X and red. If you do, create X 1/1 red elemental creature tokens that are tapped and attacking. At the beginning of the next end step, exile those creatures unless you have the City's Blessing. Now, you attack with it, you pay, say, 4 mana, you're going to make 3 1/1s. If you've got 4 mana, you've probably got 4 lands in play. 4 1/1s plus 3 1/1s plus 4 mana, 7. So, in theory, if you've got another couple of creatures out, you can get the City's Blessing pretty fast with this card. Now, it's only a 1/1, so it might die in combat pretty fast. But if with the right pump spells and the right stuff, this might be quite good. We never know. It might be excellent. I've got high hopes for this card, but we shall see. Right, Raptor Companion, Dusk Legion Zealot, Overgrown Armosaur, Razka Raptor, Mistcloak Herald, Gruesome Fate, Sun-Collared Raptor, Sea Legs, Evolving Wild, Suncrest Pterodon. Right, uncommons. Blazing Hope, exile target creature, great pattern, equal to your lifetime. For 1 mana, exile target creature spells, they're usually quite good. This one is going to save you from dying, but it's quite restrictive on the effect. Needletooth Raptor, 2/2. Whenever it's dealt damage, it deals 5 damage to target creature an opponent controls. Sadistic Sky Marcher, 3 mana 2/2. Reveal another vampire card or pay 1 when it enters play. Okay, isn't it an additional cost? Sorry. Flying Lifelink, that's quite good. I like that card a lot actually. Right, the rare. The rare is Warkite Marauder, even, sorry. When it attacks, target creature, defending player, loses all abilities and becomes a base power and toughness becomes 0/1 till end of turn. It's alright, yeah, it's quite good. It's 2 mana flyer with 2 mana 2/1 flyer. It's probably quite good. The extra ability on it, so it's going to stop people from blocking it. I quite like that card. And then again, I think I've said I quite like that card about all the cards I've seen tonight. Right, next one. Flood of Recollection, Golden Demise. So what does Golden Demise do? Well, Ascend. All creatures get -2/-2, so in turn. If you have the City's Blessing instead, only creature your opponents control get -2/-2. That's cool. Prevent all combat damage will be dealt to Everdawn Champion. That's probably quite annoying, that card. Right, so... Oh, we've got a foil Sun Sentinel, 2/2 with Vigilance for 2. Shiny. Right, Crafty Cut Purse. Crafty Cut Purse says, Flash. When it enters the battlefield, each token that would be created under opponent's control this turn is created under your control instead. So 4 mana 2/2 with Flash. It's got an ability that's going to annoy those creature token decks out there. I think this probably doesn't see quite so much play in Modern or Legacy, maybe a little bit in Standard. Much more likely to see, much more likely to see play in EDH or Commander, just to sort of hate out those creature token strategies. Hi Sam. Right, so some more commons. Sorry, let's rattle through them. Mutiny I quite like, yeah. Sun-coloured Raptor, Cleansing Ray. I'll hunt the week again. Right, some uncommons. Forerunner that holds Raging Regisaur, Stone Quarry. Awesome. Right, so our mythic is Azure, the Lawbringer. So, legendary creature Sphinx. When it enters the battlefield, each opponent can't cast instant sorcery spells during that player's next turn. We saw this ability already. I quite like it. It's also, whenever it attacks, you may pay X white blue. So I'll put it over here. Yeah. If you do, you gain X life and draw X cards. So it's got Sphinx's Revelation tacked onto it. That card, Sphinx's Revelation, which is X white blue instant speed. Gain X life, draw X cards. That card's really powerful. Now, tapped onto a creature, that's even more powerful. It's legendary. This card can be your commander in EDH. So it's really quite a cool card. I like that a lot. Rob absolutely dominated a draft with this card the other day. Cool. So another booster. So Blazing Hope, Deadeye Brawler, Stormfleet, Swashbuckler are our uncommons. Kumena's Blessing. We've got Mutiny as our foil. There we go, another foil. And then Kumena's Awakening. So Kumena's Awakening, what's it do? It has Ascend. At the beginning of your upkeep, each player draws a card. If you have the City's Blessing, instead only you draw a card. Quite good. Yep. I can see why that's used. I have a deck that runs a card that's very similar called a Howling Mine. This one-sided Howling Mine, it's a bit more expensive. We've seen cards like this before. They typically have done quite well. They draw your opponent too many cards, but this one, it becomes one-sided eventually. That's quite good. Right, Master of Dusk, Dinosaur Hunter, Jungle Born Pioneer, Goblin Trailblazer, Negate, Exultant Sky Marcher, Traveller's Amulet, Sworn Guardian, Legion Conquistador, Hardy Veteran. Uncommons, another Merfolk Mistbinder, yes. Famished Paladin, Pitiless Plunderer. Our rare is, move this out of the way a little bit, there we go. Direfleet Pioneer. No, Direfleet Poisoner, sorry. Direfleet Pioneer is a different card. So, when it enters the battlefield, target attacking pirate you control gets +1/+1 and gains Death Touch to end the turn. It's 2 mana, 2/2. It's with Flash and Death Touch. So, it's going to ambush a creature. Target attacking pirate you control, which it might ambush a creature. It means maybe then your attacking creature also gets to ambush a creature on the attack, as it were. That's probably quite good. It's probably very good and limited, to be honest. It's a good pirate. It's 2 mana pirate. Maybe it goes in the pirate standard deck. We shall see. Excuse me 1 second. Awesome. Forerunner of the Empire. So what's this do? It lets you search for a dinosaur when it enters play. And then whenever a dinosaur enters the battlefield, you may have it deal 1 damage to each creature. So it's going to enable those enraged cards. Siren Reaver. Right, Captain's Hook. Yarr. And a Crafty Cutpurse. Let's have a look at these. Right, Captain's Hook. Right, so equipped creature gets +2/+0, has Menace, and is a pirate in addition to its other creature types. So +2/+0 Menace, and is a pirate. Okay. When it becomes unattached from a permanent, destroy that permanent. That's interesting. It's only 1 mana to equip though. So what you're paying is 3 mana for a +2/+0 and Menace with equip 1. So it's quite aggressive. It gives menace. It is quite a menacing card. A captain with a hook, etc. It's very thematic as well. We also got another rare, a foil Crafty Cutpurse. So Crafty Cutpurse flash when it's battlefield. Each token. Yep. So this card again. It's foil. This card will go in commander. Will be quite nice. If you're playing commander cards to give your opponents creature tokens, and then you play this, you get those creature tokens instead. So maybe there's some sort of interaction there. Right. Next booster. Go through them. Majestic Heliopterus, Forerunner of the Coalition, Pirate's Pillage. And our rare is Path of Discovery. So Path of Discovery, when it enters the battlefield under your control, it explores. So whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, it explores. It's an enchantment, it's going to sit there, and it means that every creature you play after this will explore. This gives some good value. Right, moving on, some uncommons from this booster pack. Right, onto the uncommons. Famished Paladin, Adzokan Seer, finally got there. Silvergill Adept. Right, Silvergill Adept is the Merfolk of Legend that's played in all the formats ever. There's an additional cost to cast Silvergill Adept, reveal a Merfolk card from your hand or pay 3. So in a Merfolk deck this is going to be quite good. When it enters the battlefield, draw a card. You get +1/+1 off the Merfolk Lords. It is quite a good card. This is seen play in a lot of formats. Tried and tested. Right, our rare, Path of Metal. Path of Metal enters the battlefield. It deals 1 damage to each creature that doesn't have First Strike, Double Strike, Vigilance or Haste. Whenever you attack with at least 2 creatures that have First Strike, Double Strike, Vigilance and or Haste, transform Path of Metal. So, Metzali, Tower of Triumph. Add 1 mana to your mana pool. Metzali, Tower of Triumph deals 2 damage to each opponent. Choose a creature from random from the attack this turn. Destroy that creature. So yeah, it's quite good value. Path of Metal is really rather good. Right, another booster. Right, Fanatical Firebrand. Waterknot, Divine Verdict, Impale, Naturalize, Mutiny, Traveller's Amulet, Sworn Guardian, Hardy Veteran, Squire's Devotion. Right, so our uncommons. Expel from Razka, Sadistic Sky Marshal, Oathsworn Vampire. Direfleet Daredevil is our rare. So, first strike. Whenever enters the battlefield, exile target into a sorcery spell for an opponent's graveyard. You may cast that card as though in your hand. You can cast that card this turn. You may spend mana as though it's any colour, any mana of any type to cast that spell. If that card would be put into a graveyard this turn, exile it instead. So this is a very interesting card actually. Someone on the internet recently was talking about playing this card in Vintage. That's how powerful it is. So in a mono red Vintage deck, you get to cast your opponent's really powerful spells that they've been casting, like Ancestral Recall and that sort of stuff. Now in a mono red deck you wouldn't normally get to cast Ancestral Recall, but you do now. So Direfleet Daredevil, really quite powerful. It might be good enough to see playing Vintage. Fringe playing Vintage, maybe not exactly the best spells to be casting in Vintage, but still powerful enough. Really cool. Mutiny, River Darter, Master of Dusk, Colossal Dreadmore, Goblin Trailblazer, Tilonized Crown, Sea Legs, Jade Bearer, Legion Conquistador, right, Aquatic Incursion, Stone Quarry, Stormfleet Swashbuckler, a rare, Awaken Amalgam, Power and Toughness equal to the number of different named lands you control. So, where do you play this? You play this in a 5-colour deck or a deck that's playing lots of non-basic lands. Probably not all that good. It might be good enough. Depends, like if you're playing enough, go wide enough, late game enough. It'd be very big. It doesn't have any other abilities though, so I'm not so sure on this one. It could be fun. One of my friends was saying, "Oh, my deck's really bad. Maybe I'll just play a 5-colour Awakened Amalgam deck for my next round." We shall see. Negate, Raptor Companion. Go through these commons again pretty rapidly. Here we go. Right. Forsaken Sanctuary, Curious Obsession, Forerunner of the Empire, Golta, Primal Hunger. I think there's a promo of this one coming out somewhere soon. Right, Golta, Primal Hunger. It's 12 mana. 12 mana for a 12/12. That's a lot of mana. It's got an upside though. When it costs X less cast, where X is the total power of creatures you control, and it's got Trample. So, if you curve out quickly enough, you might get to cast this on turn 4 or 5. 12/12 on turn 4 or 5 sounds pretty good to me. Right, Martyr of Dusk.
I don't know if you want to open this second box because I know you're playing Modern tonight, so it's up to you.
So I might hold off on this one.
Yeah, that's cool.
If that's all right.
Yeah.
Cool. Cheers, John. Otherwise, you've got me here for another half hour, an hour.
No, I'm happy for you.
Right.
I know you play Modern.
It's all good. Fair enough. Forerunner of the Legion. Riverwide's Augur, Strength of the Pack. Strength of the Pack I quite like. It's another overrun. I've actually played this in draft. It's really quite fun. You make a lot of 2/2s for 2. The set's full of them. And then suddenly you make them all 4/4s or 4/5s. Yeah, I like this card a lot. Right. Hadana's Climb. So, at the beginning of it, Combat on your turn. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Then, if that creature has 3 or more +1/+1 counters on it, transform it. So, it makes something bigger each turn, and then it transforms. Winged Temple of Orazca. So what does it do? It taps out any 1 mana of any colours you mana pool, and then 3 mana tap it. Target creature you control gets flying, gets +X/+X till end of turn, where X is its power. So yeah, makes something big, and then makes that big thing fly. That's pretty good, and makes it bigger as well. So it makes something big, makes something bigger and flying. Quite good. We've seen this sort of effect before on Elspeth, the original Elspeth. Jumped something and made it big. That card was quite good, got saw playing rather a lot of cards. Oh look, it's a foil island. Everyone loves a foil island. I like this new artwork actually. It's really quite pretty. This, though, is a river. This is not an island, it's a river. I don't know what Wizards are thinking. They're starting to print more and more islands that just don't have islands on them. It's a river. Right, what's our rare? Slaughter the Strong. I've said already I like this card. This card's really quite good for limited. So we're almost finished. I'm just going to finish this booster box, not open the next one. We'll open the next one later. I've got to pick one of these boosters as well. We shall see where we get to. Right, cool, some commons. Charging Tuscadon, Jungle Creeper, Golden Demise are our uncommons. Alenda, the Dusk Rose. It's a legend, so you can play this as your commander and commander. Right, so it's a black, white and 2 vampire and a knight, lifelink. Whenever another creature dies, put a +1/+1 counter on Alenda, the Dusk Rose. When it dies, create X 1/1 white vampire tokens with lifelink where X is its power. So as creatures die, it gets bigger, and then when it dies itself, it makes even more creature tokens. Quite good, quite powerful, quite a thematic effect for vampires. Right, so Imperial Ceratops, Reckless Rage, Slashing Bronzestone, Wayward Swordtooth is our rare. So send, you may play an additional land on each of your turns. Can't attack or block unless you have the City's Blessing, and it's at 5/5. So it's quite big, quite powerful. Lets you play more lands, so makes you get to the City's Blessing faster by putting more lands into play. And then it is a 3 mana 5/5. It's quite good. I quite like that card, but then again I've said that about a lot of cards. I need to stop saying that about everything. Right, uncommons. Woodland Stream, Reaver Ambush, Legion Lieutenant. This is the Vampire Lord. Other vampires get +1/+1. Probably quite good with the Alenda itself. Right, this card, Zatalpa, Primal Dawn. It is a legendary Elder Dinosaur. So there's a series of Elder Dinosaurs in all the colours, in black and white. We saw the other one earlier, the black one. So, flying, double strike, vigilance, trample, and indestructible. It's got all the keywords, literally all the keywords. It's a 4/8. It's going to be very hard to shift off the board. It's a flying, double striking, vigilance, trampling, and indestructible menace. Unfortunately, it doesn't have actual menace, but it is really, really good. Rob again absolutely dominated a draft with this card, and the Stupid Talks as well. Not that I miss that. Right, Dusk Legion Zealots. When it enters the battlefield, you draw a card and lose 1 life in foil as well. This card, quite good. Would be happy to play that in limited. Right, this one is my pack.
Go for it, Nick.
So we shall see what I get. I get a Negate, a Moment of Triumph, a Fathomfleet Border, Naturalise, Fanatic Firebrand, Secrets of the Golden City, Hardy Veteran. I said I like that card. Squire's Devotion. I said I really like this card. Vampire Revenant, Orazca Relic. Right, Daring Buccaneer, Pride of Conqueror, Strength of the Pack, Deep Root Elite. Okay, whenever another Merfolk enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on target Merfolk you control. So yeah, goes in a big Merfolk deck, put that one there. Goes in a deck with lots and lots of Merfolk. Probably quite good, probably going to go in the Merfolk standard deck. Right, I've been Nick Savage, thank you very much for watching. This is for Weekend Warlords. These cards, not this card's mine. The rest of these cards are all going in folders here at Weekend Warlords. So if you want to buy them, pop along to the shop, they'll be selling them as singles. Alright, thank you very much everyone, take care, bye.